So please, be sure to exercise caution.
Oh, jeez. I didn't expect to be jump scared by Ito. Hey, Lord.
Who goes there?
So, is there really a ghost around here? Why does Paimon have a feeling that it's staring right at us?
Are you talking to me?
One pass. Oh,
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me.
From this day forth, Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
Dottore. Dottore! In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Yeah! What a lad!
Squall and Fury! You dare to gaze upon me?
What a lad! Jeez Louise! Hey, look, it's Hatsune Miku! I'm just kidding.
Too late for regrets. Have fun with this gift.
God damn.
Scaramouche, the mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
They'll have you believe otherwise. Jeez. Oh, we're already getting our first code. Like, this is usually how it goes, though. Oh. I think I got that. $100 Primos, 10 Mystic War. Always test it. Redeem code. Yep.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Genshin Impact version 3.3 special program. I'm your host, Sarah Miller-Cruz, the voice of Lumine in Genshin Impact. And
Lumine
today
host?
I'm joined by...
Max, the one and only middleman, voice of the one and only Arataki Ito.
And I'm Patrick Pedraza, voice of the Wanderer. But up until now, travelers have only known me as Scaramouche, and everyone's been battling me in the game lately.
Yeah, that's true, but to be
Everyone's been
fair,
battling
it's
me
a
in
really
the
cool
game
fight.
It's a really cool fight.
Yeah,
It
I know.
is.
Anyway, I'm super excited to have the chance to share some upcoming content with everyone. What did you all think about that trailer?
Okay, so I definitely saw Irminsul in there, and I am really excited to find out more about it.
Yeah, that trailer had everything. It had everything. It had action. It had drama. It was lighthearted in places, but it was dramatic.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just super stoked for everyone to see Scaramouche's, backstory. I'm super excited about it, for reals.
Heck yeah.
Well, speaking of that, following the story's development, Scaramouche is still in Nahida's custody. So I bet the question everyone's wanting to know is how he'll become the Wanderer.
Yeah, for sure. And there's quite a story behind that. If you're interested, then be sure to play through the Archon Quest Interlude chapter, Inversion of Genesis. There is so much to learn in this quest, so I hope
I'm glad we're already
everyone
getting
checks
more
it
Archon Quest
out.
stuff.
Oh, come on, man. You can't just leave everyone hanging like that. How about some hints? Come on, please. Please.
All right. How can I say no to a cute chibi Ito?
You can't.
Here's a little preview from the quest.
Oh.
We ran into two
Interesting,
people at the
Irminsul.
academia today talking about an essay.
Maybe it's not.
Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. From what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Pretty rad.
Wait, why are they talking about Tatarasuna?
I guess we'll have to see. It is interesting, though, to see the Traveler, Nahida, and Scaramouche all together so peacefully like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in this interlude chapter, Nahida will task the Traveler and Paimon with keeping an eye on Scaramouche while we go with him into Irminsul in search of some information.
Oh, interesting. So obviously Nahida must have some reason for deciding to keep Scaramouche around.
Oh, yeah, totally. And I'm liking Scaramouche's new style. Ooh,
He's got
dude's
the
looking
drip.
sharp.
Heck yeah, always. No. Right. And at this point, he's known by a completely different name, the Wanderer. I love that name.
Okay, so I know I'm not the only one who's curious about what happened. I mean,
every time
it
it says
looks like he's
Wanderer.
really changed a lot.
The
Yeah,
chibi
for
looks
sure.
like he's about to go
But
fucking crazy.
I'm afraid that's all we can show for now. Travelers will have to experience the story for themselves in-game. I mean, it's better to explore the storyline without too many spoilers, right?
True.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, we'll leave the rest for travelers to discover themselves. But the Wanderer is also going to be a new playable character in version 3.3, so let's talk about that. I'm sure many of our viewers are curious about his talents.
Heck yeah, sure thing. Let's have a look at the Wanderer in combat.
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence.
The wind rises.
Yeesh.
Bow your head.
This guy literally flies.
All right, Patrick, you're up. Help introduce the Wanderer for us.
Sure thing. The Wanderer is a catalyst user and has an animo-vision, so he uses wind blades to perform ranged normal
He's
attacks.
got the real wind blade.
Wait a second, wind blades?
Not the same as the Traveler's wind blade, though.
Okay.
So, as everyone probably already noticed, the Wanderer can hover in the air
Dude,
when
he
he
literally
casts his
flies.
elemental
What?
skill. Upon using his elemental skill, he will first deal AoE damage before leaping into the air and entering a hovering state. So, while hovering, the Wanderer's normal end charge attacks will be converted into Kugo Fushudan and Kugu Tofukai, respectively. The damage they deal and their AoE will
Yo.
be increased.
Take
Their
it to the
damage will be
skies.
considered normal and charge attack damage, respectively. Also, Kugu Tofukai will not consume stamina, and he can remain hovering for a certain duration.
That's so awesome. He can
Dang, that
fly.
actually seems really
I
strong.
know, right? But he can't stay hovering forever. While hovering, the Wanderer constantly consumes Kuguryoku points to maintain his hovering state, which is the blue meter you see on the screen. Even
Oh,
if he
it's a
doesn't
circle
move
like,
or attack,
Shogun.
hovering will still consume Kuguryoku points.
Okay.
So this mechanic works a little differently than our typical stamina meter. There are many possible actions the Wanderer can perform while hovering in the air, which all rely on Kuguryoku points rather than stamina. So, for
That's
example,
cool.
sprinting mid-air will consume additional Kuguryoku points to accelerate mid-air, and holding the sprint button will cause persistent point consumption to maintain speed. So this effect will replace his default sprint. Jumping expends extra Kuguryoku points to increase hovering height. Holding jump will cause persistent Kuguryoku point consumption to keep increasing hovering height. Of course, running out of points will end his hovering state.
Oh, okay. So travelers will need
He's
to
basically
plan
got a
their
second
actions
stamina
while
bar
hovering.
for his
Exactly.
skills in the
So
air.
with his talent, Jade Claim Flower,
Those you can
when
stay in the air for a
casting his
while, though.
elemental skill, if it contacts Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro, that instance of the skill will receive a corresponding buff effect depending on which element was contacted. So for example, increasing his Kuguryoku points cap, attack, crit rate, or restoring a set amount of energy upon hitting opponents with a normal or charged attack. The Wanderer can have up to 2 different kinds of these buffs simultaneously.
Ooh.
That's actually really
look,
interesting.
check that out. Part of the halo
That's
behind
cool.
him changes color depending on the buffs you get. So travelers will be able to easily understand what effects the Wanderer currently has.
I like that. It's helpful and still looks really cool.
Yeah.
So after unlocking another talent, Gales of Reverie, when the Wanderer is in the hovering state, if his normal or charged attack hits an enemy, there is a set chance to gain another buff effect, allowing him to sprint midair without consuming Kugaryoku points. Additionally, this buff effect will fire wind arrows to attack the enemy.
Ooh.
Oh, dope. I'm sure extra buff effects like that will go a long way for players when they're in combat.
Yeah, for sure. And if you've noticed, there is a colorful aura of light around his body to indicate when that buff effect is triggered.
I saw that.
That's pretty cool. I love all the detail they've put into the Wanderer.
All right, this brings us to the Wanderer's Elemental Burst.
Sweet.
Yay!
So, check this out. Upon
Five
unleashing his
ceremonial
burst,
blows.
he compresses the atmosphere and stomps it down toward the enemy. So travelers
burst
should note
damage
that if the
thing.
Wanderer is in a hovering state when he unleashes his burst, then the hovering state will end and he will begin descending after the burst is completed.
Okay, this stomping animation is a little aggressive.
Yeah, but it's cool.
People
I
want
know,
s-
and it actually
People want
suits
him to
his
step
character.
on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't help but agree.
Wait. Let's not forget about the exploration talent.
Ah, yes. This is an interesting one. The Wanderer can decrease the Mora required when ascending bows and catalysts.
Hey now, you can never complain about saving Mora. Am I right?
Nice.
Okay,
Huh?
that's true. All right, now that we've seen the Wanderer, let's move on to the next new character.
Hey, David.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yay!
Another OP
What did you
passive
say?
talent.
I'm old now, so every other phrase escapes my ears. Try calling me Madam Faruzan, and I'll see if I can
You're
pick that up.
old? Girl, you look like you're, like, young.
What is it that you would like to learn more about? Different forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms? The base layer design of
David.
elemental monuments? Huh. Wait. Did you forget to call me Madam Faruzan just now when you asked your question? Whoa!
Oh,
What?
she's
What?
she's one of those
There's
people.
nothing wrong with being afraid of thunder, even at an older age.
Oh, she
gosh.
sounds sassy.
Yeah, and smart too.
Hatsune Miku's actually
She
old.
seems so awesome.
She's fun.
I wonder what her skirt's made
I know,
out
her
of.
design is so cool and really detailed. I love it.
So,
Yeah, they've
even
really
though
upped
she
the
looks
4-star
super young,
designs.
she's actually an old person? Like, where's my
Thank you,
key?
Ito.
Well, she's not that old.
I
Oh,
don't know,
right.
could've fooled me.
Faruzan's age is probably
Oh,
still
she's
nothing compared to
pretending
Scaramouche.
she is. A
Mhm.
researcher
But let's
from
call him the
100 years
Wanderer.
ago.
Sarah, please.
Okay, you know who I meant. Actually, now that I think about it, yokai can also live a really long time too.
That's right, yeah, no, and speaking of age, isn't the Traveler's age also kind of mysterious?
Mhm,
She enjoys
that's true.
self-identifying
It
as
looks like all
everyone's
of our characters are
senior.
intriguing. But
So
it's
she's
safe to
not.
say that Faruzan is way older than most people in Tibet.
That's funny.
Faruzan works in the academia's Haravatat Darshan and has been a hairbod, which roughly means mentor, for over a century.
So I bet everyone out there is wondering if she's also some kind of creature blessed with long life, you know? Like Klee?
No, she's actually just your regular, typical
You just
human
call
being.
Klee a
Well,
creature?
maybe not so typical.
Damn, Ito.
About 100 years ago, Faruzan was an undisputed genius, traveling all around Sumeru and solving many puzzles and mysteries. The notes she left behind eventually became the basis of mechanical research for later generations.
Whoa, she sounds pretty amazing.
But later, she accidentally stumbled into some ruins while trying to solve a puzzle. There, she encountered some strange phenomenon which stopped her from aging, and was trapped there for nearly 100 years.
Woo!
She eventually solved the puzzle and was able to finally return to Sumeru.
Can you imagine being trapped in a puzzle for 100 years?
Mm-mm.
Wait. So that's how she's been a hairbod for over a century.
Yeah. And even now, she still has the pride of a scholar in her heart and is a very talented person. It's just that after being separated from the world for so long, she's kind of fallen behind the times now.
Oh, hey, I get what you mean. She was once a proud researcher in a niche field that has become unpopular after 100 years. So, is she still completely dedicated to her field?
Yep. and she often tries using her
based.
old age as a means of drumming up support for her ideas. However, I think she'd prefer to be complained about for using her seniority rather than garnering sympathy for her experience of being trapped in the
I
room.
don't know.
Yeah, sounds like she's.
I guess it depends on if her
character.
story is
I know,
real or
right?
not.
Okay, so now that we've covered her backstory, why don't we take a look at Faruzan's abilities in combat?
Let's do it.
Fight, 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 fight.
Like, and also if she was
Yet there hasn't been any change to those dumb rules at the academia.
like, who knows? Maybe
Dare to
she was
mess with
stuck
me?
in that puzzle for 100 years in like cryostasis.
Have fun with this gift.
I don't know. I really want her to be on Wanderer's
I
banner,
love
but she
all
won't
the
be.
geometric shapes when she's playing. Did you guys see that?
Yes,
That's
there's so
crazy.
much geometry, and I took geometry.
It looks so cool.
Ah, yeah.
So
Me too.
Faruzan is an animo character, and she wields a bow as her weapon. Her normal attacks are the usual bow attacks you'd expect from a bow user, so there's not too much to say about that. But her skills are where things get interesting. Her elemental skill deploys a polyhedron that
Whoa.
deals damage to enemies. After using her skill, her next aimed shot will become a special attack that creates a vortex, pulling nearby objects and opponents in.
Oh, nice. So she can clump enemies together.
And there's also another thing about her special charged attack. It will create a vortex effect at its point of impact. And if the attack hits an enemy or ally member, it'll apply a mark and create a vortex after a short delay.
Okay. So it looks like there will be a lot of potential uses for this attack. Travelers will have to experiment with it and see what they come up with.
Yeah, I think it'd be amazing to try hitting
To me, it
teammates
just
with
seems
the arrow
like
in co-op mode
sucrose
and have them charge into the enemies
with a
to
bow.
group them all together. I'll have to see who wants to try that with me. After unlocking the talent Impetuous Flow, the time required for fully charging Faruzan's next shot will be reduced, and the arrow will reduce the target enemy's animo resistance.
Oh,
In her
it
elemental burst,
reduces
she
animo
deploys
resistance?
a dazzling polyhedron and releases a whirlwind pulse.
How much
Throughout
though?
its duration, the dazzling polyhedron will continuously move along a triangular path. Once it reaches each corner of that triangular path, it will unleash one more whirlwind pulse.
Yeah, 1 minute she's here, the
What
next
the heck?
she's gone for 100 years.
Ito.
Boom!
Even Sino's jokes are funnier than that.
It was pretty
All
funny.
right. Anyway, let's hear
Damn.
what effects these whirlwind pulses
Throw my
have.
boy Sino
Sure.
under the bus,
When
aren't
the
you?
whirlwind pulse hits opponents, it will decrease their animo resistance. It will also apply an animo damage buff effect to all nearby party members when it's unleashed.
Oh, so she's one
Travelers should
of
note that the
these
effective range
characters.
of this buff is quite large.
This is our
And
animal
it's not
buffer.
just within the whirlwind pulse itself, so there's no need to go chasing the polyhedron. After unlocking
means
her
she's gonna be
talent,
good.
Lost Wisdom of the Seven Caverns, when a team member uses normal,
I guess it depends
charged,
on how
or
much.
plunging attacks, elemental skills, or elemental bursts to deal animo damage to an enemy, the damage will increase based on Faruzan's base attack.
DPS
This effect
Venti.
can only be triggered once for a certain duration of time.
Oh, so it seems she'll be the solid support.
Yeah.
Solid
Totally.
support for
And as a
frickin'
researcher
you.
of mechanics and puzzles, Faruzan has
As well as
taken it upon
Xiao.
herself
Xiao's
to
finally
explore
getting
many
his
ruins,
dedicated
with her
support.
travels taking her all across Sumeru. Her exploration talent reflects this, and she gains more rewards when dispatched on a Sumeru expedition for 20 hours.
I'm sure no other mentor in Haravatat has 100 years
Yep,
of experience in
Scar.
solving puzzles.
Yeah, I gotta say, that's pretty hard to beat. So, the big question is,
And I guess
when do
Hazo as well.
travelers expect to get these new characters?
That is a good question. Let's talk about the upcoming event wishes. In the early part of version 3.3, the Wanderer and Arataki Ito will be
Of
available via their
course.
own event wishes. Faruzan will also be making her debut in these event wishes. In the later part
Wait,
of
was it
version
in both?
3.3, we'll be seeing rerun
No,
event
that's not
wishes
accurate,
for both
right?
the Raiden Shogun and Kamisato Ayato.
Oh wait, no, that was.
And last but not
she
least,
is.
the new 5-star catalyst, Tule Tula's Remembrance, will be appearing in a new weapon event wish.
And that's not all.
She's
In
on
version
Wanderers.
3.3,
Let's go.
2 brand new artifact series will become available. So travelers should be sure to check out the corresponding domain.
Woo! More artifacts!
New artifacts.
I hope travelers will have fun
no
experimenting and trying new
damage.
combinations with these.
Yeah.
Okay, we've already talked about a ton
Oh,
of
that
new content,
second
so
one,
why don't
though.
we take a quick break with another redemption code?
Sounds good. Roll out the code.
Woohoo!
That second one, oh gosh. I think they're like literally buffing Nilu. That first one I think is for Scaramouche though. Or, excuse me, Wanderer. Yeah, I'll send you the first one. I guess I could say the second one if you haven't redeemed it already.
Welcome back to the version 3.3 special program.
Ooh.
Okay, Patrick,
Why
what do
is
we
that
have
something
next?
like an umbrella?
So next, we'll be covering the upcoming events for the new version.
That's right. We've already mentioned the Test of Courage event, and I'm sure plenty of you were wondering about that, so let's
I'm
start
happy
there.
we're getting an Inazuma
Aha!
quest with
You must be here to
characters.
participate in the Test of Courage.
The test
I
of
can already
courage.
see a dark aura surrounding the two of you. If you carelessly go running into the event, all it'll take is one little misstep, and the darkness will swallow you up.
I feel like Hu Tao should join in on this event.
Strange and unusual things may occur along the way. If you ever feel you can't handle it, you may withdraw from the event at any time. This is
Hu Tao
your
visits from
last
Liyue.
chance. I'll count it down. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Test of Courage.
Well, she hasn't been
Enter
in
at
like
your
anything in
own
a long
risk.
time.
That was pretty interesting.
So it'd be cool if she did come for the test of courage, because it's about ghosts and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it is a test of courage, so I'm sure there'll be some scary stuff going on there.
I ain't scared.
Anyway,
I ain't
to
scared.
successfully clear this event, we'll be facing a series of little tests.
Ooh, what's this? Tests, you say?
Yes, that's right. Word has it that if you walk around the test of courage, you might find yourself encountering a special sort of game. We've already got the rules down, so I'll do a quick introduction. Basically, travelers will have to control a
what?
bouncing bar to bounce
It's
a
like
ball and
pinball.
use skill ball effects to break as many bricks as possible.
Okay, I'm liking this one. Seems pretty straightforward.
During
you
the game,
change it,
travelers will
change
be
the
able
element.
to trigger elemental
cool.
reactions to break bricks more effectively.
That's cool. I like that.
Nice. It even has elemental reactions.
Yeah, we can control the character to move the bar. When the character we're using is either
That's
Pyro,
actually really
Hydro,
creative. I really
Cryo,
like
or
that.
Electro, the corresponding element will be applied to the bar. By switching characters, you can change the element of the bar.
Okay, all the pieces are falling in place now.
That's
the
cool.
bar can infuse a certain element, and the blocks also have their own elements. So causing a skill ball of one element to hit blocks of different elements will trigger elemental reactions. There, how'd I do?
Yep, you nailed it. The bar will add the element corresponding to your character. Besides triggering reactions the way you just mentioned, if a skill ball is already infused by an element and it hits the bar, it will also trigger a reaction, causing the skill ball to have some additional effects. When preparing your team, you can equip modifiers to receive various buff effects, which will help you successfully clear the challenge.
Oh, nice.
Also, when there are less than a certain amount of bricks on the board and the ball lands another hit, the bar will unleash fireworks.
Whoa, cool.
Fireworks.
Travelers can utilize this effect to break some bricks that would normally be difficult
You
to
a
hit
Mia
directly.
reference?
It's like a bonus attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
So, travelers will need
The
to
fireworks
select
seem
characters
broken.
of the right elements, equip the appropriate modifiers, and use different elemental reactions to break bricks and score more points.
And then travelers will be able to use their points to exchange for rewards in the event shop, correct?
That's right. Also, travelers will have the option of teaming up and playing the event together in co-op mode.
Oh, looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Wonder if it
super
makes
fun.
the bars
Yeah,
smaller.
in addition to this minigame, the Test of Courage storyline will also contain more challenges. Travelers will even have a chance to meet with some good friends again, so be sure to check out this new event. All right, let's move on to our next event.
Okay, so next up, we have a race event called Across the Wilderness. Your objective,
Race.
collecting balloons.
Woo!
I don't know, seems like the Wanderer's abilities might come in real handy here.
Yeah, it
I
feels
know,
like you
right?
can cheat with the
So,
Wanderer.
in this event, each stage will have wilderness balloons scattered all around. travelers will need to find as many
So it's
wilderness
like
balloons as
coins,
possible within the
reskin,
time limit to earn
pinball
increasingly better
impact.
rewards. So
So
during
true.
the challenge, travelers will be able to utilize their character's skills and talents. So it'll be important to assemble the right team depending on
definitely.
the traits and terrain
Opium.
of the challenge area.
I definitely do want to spend a lot of time with
Yeah, so
the TCG,
travelers
though.
can also use something called the Wilderness Compass to obtain various buffs, which include enhanced jumping capabilities, increased movement speed, or unlimited stamina, etc.
Unlimited
However,
stamina.
you can only claim one buff during each
Oh,
challenge.
cool. I like
You
the
must
stage.
consume blessed energy
like,
to
Beto's
use the
ship.
compass and
That
gain
was
the selected
Mondstadt.
buff.
Oh, shit, that's Mondstadt.
You may charge the compass up by finding
Beto's ship's
wilderness
kinda cool.
balloons or interacting with blessed energy in the challenge. Or you can always wait for the compass to passively charge over time.
Yo, this event looks pretty crazy. It's almost like watching parkour.
Yeah, there are two different kinds of wilderness balloons in these challenges. The first is harvest balloons, which will increase the overall progress of your search for wilderness balloons. The other kind is sonar balloons, which will cause several harvest balloons to appear around you for a set amount of time.
That's awesome.
So there will be 5 stages available for this event, and travelers will need to consider the conditions and terrain of each stage to come up with the best way to complete it.
It looks
Also,
creative, at least, with
travelers
the,
may team up in co-op
balloon
mode
placement.
for challenges.
Ooh, more chances to play together. I love it.
Yeah,
I gotta keep
same.
pushing co-op.
Okay,
but,
let's
like,
move on to our next
Does anyone
event.
ever really
Everyone's
do them
favorite
co-op?
game of hide and seek is back with the Windtrace event. And of course, this is going
my
to
God,
be another
Windtrace.
co-op event, and I, for one, am super excited for it.
There's nothing like a good co-op. Many of you might already be familiar with this event by now, but there have been a few changes. Let me introduce what travelers can expect to see this time around. We can probably skip some of the basics this time. You know, players either hide or seek. And then...
Okay, wait a second. There actually might be some new travelers out there who've never seen this event before. So why don't you start with some of the basics?
Right, good point. Okay, let's start at the beginning then. This is a game with a long history in Mondstadt. Travelers will be split into 2 different sides, the Rebels and the Hunter. You will need to use skills and master the art of hiding or chasing down others to win this event. The goal of the Hunter is to capture all the Rebels, while the Rebels run or use other means to keep themselves from getting caught by the Hunter.
Okay, that's straightforward enough. So what else
Bro,
you got
stop
for us?
moving, he's gonna see you.
Well, some travelers may remember playing as the Rebels and getting caught early in the game. Once that would happen, all you could do was spectate and watch the rest as the others continue playing.
Got
But
caught so fast.
this time around, once you're caught, you'll still be able to participate in the match even in observer mode.
Ooh.
How?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Once you're in observer mode, you can't be seen by other players and will receive the illusory beacon skill. This skill will allow you to place a random beacon to confuse the hunter. If your beacon successfully tricks the hunter and is destroyed, then the hunter will suffer an obscured vision effect.
So even after
Okay.
you've been captured, you can be like a little ghost, trying to help your teammates by disrupting the hunter.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. And at least you won't have to sit there and just watch the rest of the match anymore.
Exactly, but what does the hunter get this time? I mean, we gotta keep it fair.
Some new Windward arts have been added for both the hunter and the rebels. The hunter will now be able to use the
Damn it.
hunter's net. This net can be thrown and will remove any rebel disguises within its range, and will notify the hunter that a rebel was detected. If a beacon is caught in the net, it'll be destroyed and the hunter will not suffer from obscured vision.
Nice. So
Okay.
I guess if you love playing hunter, you'll probably love this.
Oh yeah, you definitely should. The skill rebels used in previous versions of the game to place beacons can now only be used by players in observer mode. However, the rebels will be able to use an all-new concealing beacon skill. This skill will allow you to deploy a beacon for a set duration and remain invisible while you're around that beacon. All players, including your rebel teammates, will be unable to see you while you're invisible. If the concealing beacon is destroyed by the hunter, then the hunter will have their vision obscured for a short time. Sounds pretty fun, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so even if you end up being captured by the hunter at the start of the game, you'll still be able to participate and assist your teammates. And, did I mention Primogems and other rewards? The good stuff. So be sure to check it
The
out.
good stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
So true.
Seriously, I can't wait to play with friends. Okay, our next event is a combat-based event.
Time for some combat!
Whoop, whoop.
In a forbidden place warded by dust and sand,
Misty
mysterious
Dungeon's back.
foes have assembled lines of fortifications to stop your coming.
This one's in
That's
the
right,
desert,
a
looks
new
like, though.
edition of Misty Dungeon will arrive in version 3.3. Stoked.
Sweet.
But this time around, there will be a total of 7 trials with different themes awaiting you in the Misty Dungeon. Each has a different leyline disorder, and travelers will have to adjust their
So
teams
true,
according
David.
to the disorder's effects and the distribution of enemies. There will also be trial characters for you to select from as well. After entering the domain, travelers will need to go and complete 3 challenges to collect ancient runes. After collecting power from 3 ancient runes, we can power up the control array and proceed to the final challenge. Also, throughout the trial, additional benediction mechanisms and challenges will appear. Travelers may choose to interact with these to increase the leyline disorder's effects
really like
or
Misty
revive
Dungeon.
and heal your team.
You know, if it were up to me, I'd say just go for all the challenges.
I know, but travelers should keep in mind that the challenge objective for each trial might be different, so be sure to check the objective and aim for that while proceeding. In terms of rewards, travelers can look forward to winning Primogems and other various prizes. Yes!
Ooh, I like prizes.
And last but not least, version 3.3 will also have leyline overflow events. Travelers can look forward to saving their resin and
Leyline
earning more Mora and
overflow.
experience books.
Nice, that's awesome. That'll be great for all the travelers out there still leveling up all their new characters.
When they don't have another
And
event, just
even if you
slap
don't need
in
those resources
leyline
now,
overflow.
it's always good to stock up and have more on hand, am I right?
Yeah. So, travelers looking to upgrade their characters won't want to miss this.
Yeah, I mean, this is all good stuff.
In addition to the new version's limited time events, version 3.3 will also be adding a new permanent game mode called Genius Invocation
Let's
TCG.
go!
Genius Invocation TCG!
But before we get into that, let's take another quick break and enjoy a redemption code. I'm
I'm actually so excited for the
Slap that
TCG,
code on
like
the screen.
unironically. Unironically so excited. ET9 sup? $100 Primos, 50,000. God damn it, Damon. I hope we get some cool interactions with the characters as well that you have to play against, and I really hope that it's the actual characters and not like boring NPCs. Or if they are NPCs, like NPCs that we've actually had good interactions with. Like Giraffe.
Welcome back, everyone.
or...
During our journey into VAT,
Anyone from
we
Samara,
stumbled
really.
across several NPCs talking about a game called Genius Invocation
Yes, we have.
TCG. So next, we'll introduce this card game that's been taking VAT by storm. In the version 3.1 special program, we already revealed that Genius Invocation TCG will be a card game where we can challenge various characters and NPCs or battle against your friends. But there is actually a legend behind this game. It is said that a young guy in Sumeru found an ancient casket of tomes in the attic. He opened
Casket
it
of
and
tomes.
discovered that the soul of an ancient TCG player called the Crocodile King had been captured inside.
What a
The
name.
soul of the
It
Crocodile
turns
King.
out that the Crocodile King was King Deshret's viceroy, who battled an
Oh.
opponent named the Ibis King. During the match, the Crocodile King fell prey to his opponent's scheme and was sealed away in the casket of tomes.
Ouch, game over.
After being unexpectedly released by the kid, the Crocodile King possesses him and helps him to gradually climb the ranks to becoming a legendary TCG player.
Nice. Hang on, is it just me, or does that kind of sound like the plot to a light novel or something?
You're right. It turns out that Yai Publishing House is about to release a
Oh
hit
my
light
God.
novel series based on Genius Invocation TCG.
Okay, now this is starting to sound like a plug for Yai Publishing House.
Maybe. But anyway, that's the legend on how Genius Invocation TCG came to be. Though it's probably just a story they came up with for marketing the game.
So
Yep,
while you were
that
telling
sounds
us
like
about
to
the
me.
story, I was over here researching the rules to the game. Basically, Genius Invocation TCG is a game where you use a constructed deck of cards to duel against an opponent. The objective
Please tell me it has
is to
actual
defeat all of your opponent's character cards.
playable
That's
characters.
Also, there are
Dude,
many
the
features
cards
and
look
mechanics in the
sick.
game that resonate with
Yo, I
Genshin
didn't
Impact's
expect them to be
gameplay, so it
animated.
shouldn't be too hard for players to get the hang of.
Right, I even saw some elemental reactions in the gameplay.
Yup, a constructed deck must contain character cards. And as you might expect, these character
that
cards
Magu
have a
Genki?
normal attack, an elemental skill, and an elemental burst. So when a
Luke going
character
in for
card
the Magu
deals
Genki.
elemental damage to an enemy, it will cause them to be affected by that element. Then you can switch
And it
to a
actually
character
does
card
use
of
the
a different
elements.
element
This
and
is
use their
sick.
abilities to trigger an elemental reaction.
Wait, did you guys notice that there are even monster
I'm so
character
hyped.
cards? Can we even make a deck of, like, just the monsters from the game?
You're really getting into this, Max.
Dude, is that a Paimon card?
I like card games!
Who doesn't?
So in Genius Invocation TCG, all actions require you to spend elemental dice. Each round,
Okay.
both you and your opponent will roll 8 elemental dice. Each of these elemental dice can have any one of 8 elemental attributes.
Hold on, but there's only 7 elements in the world of Teyvat.
You're right. So in addition to the 7 standard elements, there's also one called the Omni element. The elemental
The
dice
Omni
required
element.
for a character card to perform an action correspond to the character's element. So, for example, a Pyro character like D-Luke needs either Pyro or Omni elemental dice to perform an action. Clear now?
Yep, crystal clear.
Also, elemental dice can be used to switch characters or play a variety of other cards, such as equipment cards, event cards, and support cards. All these cards create the potential for a variety of strategies.
Right. While playing Genius Invocation TCG,
Yo!
travelers can earn player experience, which will increase your player level. As your level increases,
Where is this?
you'll be able to
Is this the
challenge more
cat's tail?
characters and NPCs. By completing challenges, you may earn lucky coins, new cards, or other rewards. Lucky coins can be exchanged in the event shop for cards, or can even unlock dynamic skins for certain cards.
Dynamic skins? Those are cards that have
Dynamic
moving illustrations, right?
skins. Okay.
That's right. All character cards can unlock a dynamic
This is
skin.
sick.
After unlocking that, there'll even be a cool bonus animation whenever you cast that character's elemental burst.
Cool.
And if you're confident in your TCG skills, you can also invite a friend to duel. After reaching a high enough player level, you'll even unlock a matchmaking mode. So be sure to give it a try.
Travelers should note that playing against
Matchmaking
your friends
mode.
or other travelers won't count towards any leaderboards or provide any rewards. So you can relax. It's all just for fun. Okay, that's everything we have for Genius Invocation TCG.
That's
and
so
that
sick. I'm
brings us
so
to
excited.
the end of today's special program.
Oh.
So, what did you think?
Why do I
can't wait
have
for
to
that.
be over? There's so much that this version has to offer.
Yeah, I can't even take it all in right now. I'm just super stoked to be part of this. I think I just gained some Kuguryoku points just doing this whole thing, so.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, a standalone.
The new characters look cool.
I know, what about Scaramouche hovering? Like, that's
I
insane.
know, that's awesome.
That's super dope.
That's awesome. And I cannot wait to play in some of these events and mini games. I'm super excited. This was so fun. I'm really glad that we got to do the special program together.
I'm so happy I got to come back for
Can we get
another
some more
special
Lumine
program.
hosts?
This is my 3rd time being on one of these, and I can't wait for number 4. I'm counting.
I'm so happy. This is my first one, so thank you for having me.
Doesn't it feel good?
Yes,
Doesn't
I
it feel
feel
good to
honored
feel
to be here.
special?
Seriously, I'm
Do
just
you
like-
feel special?
I really do. Thank you.
Well, I think this is the end of our special program. So I hope everyone enjoyed it, and we'll see you in game. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Like, cut him off. All right, gamers. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go back to bed because, yeah, I'm running on like no sleep. But anyway, yeah, 3.3. It seems gonna be like it's gonna be a little bit of a filler update, but we are gonna get some interlude information for like Scaramouche and whatnot. And then the events look like they're gonna be fun. I'm really excited for the card game. and freaking Wanderer as a playable character. It just looks like a sick character, and Faruzan is very interesting as well because we finally have an animo buffer in the game, which I don't think anyone else has done. I don't think there's been a way to buff animo. Like there's been a way to shred 20% animo with Zhongli, but that's about it. And that's a shred, not a buff. Because I know we have freaking what's it called? Iridescent Venerer, which is huge. Probably best artifact set in the game, not even gonna lie. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you